Hello and welcome to a new episode of Excellence Insights, where together with our guests, we break down the key strategies that are driving success in the iGaming industry. Today, we'll be talking about something that separates the high-performing affiliates from the rest, which is data. In affiliate marketing, making decisions based solely on gut feeling is no longer enough. And with the right data, affiliates can improve targeting, increase conversions, and make smarter business decisions. My name is Magda, and I'll be your host today. And to give you all a better understanding on the importance of data in affiliate marketing, I'm joined by Michael Filetti, the co-founder of Rowdy. Michael has over 9 years of dedicated experience in business intelligence and has developed skills in using data to drive business success. Over 6 years ago, he entered the world of affiliates, working with entities of all sizes, from small-scale operations to publicly traded companies. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be on here.
It's really great to have you here, especially since a while ago in Malta, we also had a similar interview. It was completely live at a bay in Malta.
In Baluta Bay.
Exactly. And the light was a bit different.
Yes,
it was
for sure.
Nighttime. Michael, let's start from the beginning. Many of our viewers and listeners know you already, as you are super active on LinkedIn. I think just today you posted already like once or twice. But for those who maybe don't use LinkedIn as often, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, how your journey in affiliate marketing and in iGaming started?
Yeah, so of course. So my background is I'm a data analyst by trade. So I'm a numbers guy, let's say. I first came into affiliate marketing back in 2018 with a very large affiliate, and kind of started my journey there. And as soon as I entered this world, I realized the challenges, let's say, that there are in affiliate marketing with data. I saw already back then, what a big opportunity there was for affiliates, and how much money was being left on the table as well, just because data was such a big challenge for them. So yeah, that's when like my first, let's say, touch point with affiliation came. And then back in 2022, I co-founded Rowdy with Haim. So I joined Haim to continue to build, grow, and spread the word about Rowdy, about giving more data to affiliates. That's the whole idea behind Rowdy, to help affiliates understand where their revenue is coming from, and to help them grow, so the space can hopefully continue to move forwards in the way that it is.
Yeah, that's amazing. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us. So before we jump into today's topic, I'd love to pick your brain a little bit. As I've spoken with many iGaming and affiliate marketing experts, I really like to ask them about the highlights of the previous year, or something that's great, something to focus on. I'm so curious, according to you, what were the, let's say, major highlights of 2024 in the iGaming industry or in affiliate marketing specifically?
Yeah, so I think right now, maybe I won't stick to 2024 specifically, but I'll say kind of the main topics that we've been seeing. I think obviously, the major one in iGaming affiliation is obviously anything Google related. So SEO affiliates have had a big challenge with the changes in the algorithm. Overnight we've seen really good affiliates, just lose 75% of their traffic overnight, which is a massive challenge for the business, because that's their lifeblood, if you know what I mean. So this is a huge topic, and one that's ongoing, and it's still, let's say, going on. But out of this, what became an interesting, let's say, topic is that we're seeing affiliates now that used to only do SEO do other things as well now. So now we're seeing affiliates start to change from being purely SEO to now doing paid media, to doing email marketing, SMS, etc. So it's been quite interesting to see how affiliates have become more adaptable, and that was something that we really saw last year. And then we also saw the rise, I would say, of affiliate networks. That has been a topic that not just I spoke about, but a lot of other people in the industry spoke about. You're seeing lots of larger affiliates start off their own network, and you see them become very popular and do very well as well. So this was, I think, a big thing in 2024. And data and trust continues to be a topic, but this one is not specific to 2024. This one has been around for some time and will continue to be something where I think there's an element of maybe trust that needs to be built between brands and affiliates. That is a ongoing topic and discussion.
Yeah, you summarized those highlights pretty well. And now, affiliate marketing has become so complex with those multiple platforms, traffic sources, and partners. Like you said, affiliates are looking for different channels. With all this data available, affiliates might feel a little bit overwhelmed. So let's start with the basics. What are the most important metrics that affiliates should track?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a difficult question because all affiliates are different. I would say that it's very tough to find the two affiliates that are exactly the same and have the exact same needs. Obviously, at its basis, the three metrics that all affiliates care about are clicks, so how many outbound clicks they're getting, FTDs, and obviously revenue. Now, when you delve in a bit more depth, that's where things become a bit more interesting. So, for example, if I'm an SEO affiliate, I care about seeing how many conversions I'm getting from my pages, so that I can see which pages are converting best and how to deliver how I should do my SEO strategy. If I'm a PPC affiliate, obviously I'm spending money, so I care about my ROI. So that's what I mean when I say it's a bit difficult to set metrics for every single affiliate. I think that aside from the high level metrics, three metrics that I always like to look at for affiliates would be EPC, which is earning per click. So how much money are you making from every outbound click that you have? The revenue by acquisition month. So that means from this revenue that you're making, let's say you're making 10K, how much is coming from traffic you sent this month and how much of it is legacy? So this way you can see how much your current efforts are working. And then obviously I think player value is something which is a very, very important metric that affiliates know is very important, but they also know it is maybe a bit tricky to get, because ultimately that's how you can measure brand performance. That's how you can see that you're on the right deal. So I didn't really answer exactly, but let's say I went through a few different metrics that hopefully your viewers find valuable.
Yeah. This is a really great breakdown and some really great insights. But as we both know, just having data is not enough. It's really knowing how to use it that actually makes the difference. So, from your experience, what are some of the biggest mistakes that affiliates make when analyzing their data?
I think that for this one, I think it's important to make sure that you follow only specific metrics. So I think that the amount of metrics that you can follow is huge. I mean, there's so many different things that you can look at. But it's important, I think, to identify a few KPIs, maybe two or three, that you can focus on and focus on growing. I think this is something which some affiliates maybe look at too many things, where then you can overanalyze data. So it's important, I think, to not do that. And also, I think that some affiliates may try to solve everything at once. So for me, what fascinated me about affiliation when I first came into it, well, the data side at least, was that data was so tricky to deal with because you have so many different sources and they all give you different data sets and you have to deal with all of them in a different way. That I think it's all about incremental gains. So identifying a problem, even if it's just with one brand, identifying a problem or identifying a metric and trying to solve it or to monitor it is already a good thing, because you're making these incremental gains. Because ultimately you need to be practical, because it's just a fact that you don't have data everywhere. So having these having this mindset of incremental gains, I think is really, really, really important, and will serve affiliates well from what I've seen.
Yeah, that really makes a lot of sense. And trying to follow so many metrics is also not very healthy, especially since some of them can be considered vanity metrics.
For sure, for sure.
Something that we have in organic social media, for example.
Yes.
So affiliates very often rely on very surface level metrics, like I say, vanity metrics, without digging deeper into what's actually driving the performance. So when you speak of optimization, real-time data can be a game changer. How can affiliates use real-time tracking to adjust their campaigns and improve results like on the go?
Yes, yes. So I think when it comes to real-time tracking, let's say there's two different levels to it. So when it comes to affiliates, obviously the click will happen on their own platform. So let's say you're an affiliate with a website, the click will happen on your website, and that's something that you can capture pretty much in real time because it's your own platform. The challenge is obviously what happens after. So the sign up, the deposit, the revenue, and that usually you need to wait quite some time, so quite some hours for it to appear on the back end of the brand. But this is where post-back tracking comes in. So post-back tracking is basically a means for conversions to be sent to affiliates in real time. And this is something which is very relevant, I would say, especially to paid media affiliates. So if you do SEO, it can still be relevant, of course, but SEO is a much longer game. Whereas with paid media, you're spending now, and obviously if you can find out that you're burning money 12 hours sooner, it's always better. So paid media rely heavily on real-time tracking and rely heavily on post-back tracking. The challenge with post-back tracking is the reliability of the post-back, setting it up, which can take quite some time. But the good thing is that once you set it up, you start building a bit of a machine. So what this means is that instead of waiting 12, 24 hours for your conversion, now all of a sudden you're getting it 12 hours sooner. So you can see how a campaign is doing almost immediately. And this means that obviously you can optimize your campaigns faster and save money or make more money faster. As an aside to this, aside from bringing in conversions, it's also possible then to send those conversions to the ads platform that you're working with. So for example, Google Ads, let's just use that as an example. And Google can then optimize your campaigns on the fly for you. And then you start building this machine. I think real-time tracking, again, has a place in all sorts of traffic sources, but paid media especially, because the gain is I mean, time is money, right? So I think that it's an obvious win for them and something that all paid media affiliates should do.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So real-time tracking really gives affiliates the flexibility to like pivot quickly if they see they're burning money. But I think you'll agree that testing is just as important. So A/B testing in particular is something every affiliate should be doing. Could you walk us through how affiliates can use A/B testing effectively to improve conversion rates?
Yeah, for sure. So I think A/B testing as a concept is nothing like new. I mean, it's been around for quite a long time. But essentially, just to explain very simply, it's about comparing two versions against each other. So you have the A version and the B version. So using the example of a paid media affiliate, you have two landing pages for your users to land on, and you want to compare which delivers the best performance. Now, typically, affiliates would measure their performance based on click out. So they'll see this one gets more clicks than this one, and they're like, okay, then this one is better. But that's not necessarily the case, right? Because it could be that maybe the messaging leads to more clicking, but the user isn't warmed up enough, and you have more of a drop off. And in reality, you get less FTDs. So it's actually this version that's better. So when it comes to A/B testing, it's really important that you can see which version is generating more conversions, like signups and FTDs. Now, in terms of how to do this, it's all about using a solid tracking system that allows you to see this full view of the data from the click all the way to the revenue, basically.
Yeah. And as you say, A/B testing has been around for quite a while, and there's also multivariate testing. But
Exactly.
somehow marketers always come back to the A/B testing.
Yes. I think it's always good to have, like, it depends, on the volume of traffic that you have as well. And obviously comparing two directly with each other is always like there's something very straightforward about it. And yeah, I think it's something which is very, very valuable that, again, affiliates should definitely explore.
Yeah, 100%. So I would like to now take a couple steps back and go back to the Browns. Because even before this, knowing your audience, where your audience is coming from, is key. So traffic sources can make or break an affiliate campaign. What should affiliates look for when analyzing their traffic? How can they use that data to refine their strategies?
Okay, so it's a broad question, but I think the things that I would look at from my side is, at least the first thing that would come to mind is, are there any specific markets that are converting well for you? So if you can identify which markets are performing very well, maybe you can put more focus on them, or maybe you can prepare a localized landing page. Or maybe there are markets that aren't performing well because you don't have a localized landing page. How does mobile compare to desktop, for example? Where is most of your traffic coming from? Are they converting well? Do you need to do, maybe you need to have a mobile specific, probably you already do, but maybe you need to have a mobile specific landing page. And I think then it's almost cross-referencing information, in the sense of like seeing how brands convert best in which market. So finding the brand that converts well in a specific market and maybe not so well, so that then you can optimize how you're showing your brands. And then I think it's all about looking at the full picture. So when I say how everything is performing, I don't just mean in terms of clickouts, but all the way to conversion. And in terms of metrics, I would say, again, just check your EPC. Check how much money you're making from every single click to really get the full value. Yeah, I think I hopefully I gave a few pointers.
Oh yeah, you sure did. These are really great points, and I love how you mentioned, the mobile versus desktop, because a couple episodes ago, I spoke with Sasha Burma, who was speaking about iGaming in Africa, and what she mentioned is that people in African countries are mostly mobile first. So, like you said, making your landing page mobile friendly is super essential.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and you really gave some solid strategy here. So beyond just tracking sources, predictive analytics is another exciting area. So instead of reacting to the past performance, affiliates can anticipate trends and adjust accordingly. That's just when you noticed you burned the money. Oh no, we got to react. How do you see affiliates using predictive analytics to stay ahead of the competition?
Yeah, this is I think a topic that's pretty close to my heart, because obviously since I was a data analyst, I also studied AI in the past, so it's an area which is super interesting to me, and I would say in other industries it's something which is expected, right? But in affiliation, because of the data challenges that there are, it's still a bit more untouched, let's say. But I do think that down the line it is possible to do predictive analytics for affiliates, and I think it's a topic that will hopefully get more and more attention in the coming years, hopefully sooner. When it comes to predictive analytics, you can go super basic and just do a linear trend and see how much money you're going to make this month. I think that that's something that all affiliates should do, and probably most affiliates already do, which is very good. But then you can also get more creative and do things that are maybe more complex. So, for example, one thing which I can imagine is, let's say that you have, I don't know, an app or a website where users are visiting your app, and you can see that users that are very similar to I don't know, let's say, how can I word it? You have a user that's very similar to another cluster of users, and based on what the other group of users liked, you're going to recommend to him to make him more likely to convert. This is basically simple recommendation system, very similar to what you have with Netflix. Like, okay, because you watch this, you're probably going to like this. And I can imagine that happening on an affiliate site because it's doable. On the other hand, you can have something like, for example, promoting a brand because you see that the retention of this brand is performing is better than of other brands. So you can kind of predict that with this better retention, you can promote this brand more than another. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. I mean, that's just scratching the surface. I think the recommendation stuff for me is always has always been like really interesting and something doable. And I always like seeing data influence a product, because I think that sometimes we look at data just as something internal or just see how much money we're making. But you can use data to also optimize your product. And that's something which I think affiliates are starting to do a bit, but we're still maybe a few steps away from a full-blown recommendation system. But there could be some affiliates who are already doing it, but I think more should do it.
Yeah, I fully agree. And, predictive analytics to me is one of those AI things that I actually enjoy because I'm, not a biggest fan of AI, especially in content marketing.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think again, it changed the world. I mean, even ChatGPT and all this stuff. I mean, it impacted even me. I don't work in content or anything, but I use it obviously. But it is, yeah. I think AI is so vast, so broad that you almost have to take the good with the bad, just like a mobile phone, right? I mean, I love it and hate it at the same time because I'm always connected, but I'm always connected as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's part of the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael, let's talk about attribution now. One challenge that many affiliates face is understanding which efforts are actually driving the conversions. So, what are the best ways to track ROI and properly attribute sales in affiliate marketing?
I think ultimately it's about kind of what I mentioned earlier. It's about tracking. It's about having the full picture. So the more data you have, the more you can know of what's working and what's not. I think it's common. It was commonplace for affiliates to just say how much money they're making. Maybe like 10 years ago, they would just say, okay, I made 10K, that's it. Now they're able to say, okay, I made 10K, but 8K comes from here, 1K comes from here, 1K comes from here. Now they want to go even a level below that to see, okay, that 8K, but which pages is it coming from, which campaigns, which emails, who's converting. So I think in terms of the best way to do it is ultimately making sure your tech is all up to scratch, that you've got a proper tracking system, that you've got a proper stats aggregator, and you use all this data to move your business forwards.
Yeah, 100%. And, I always say that it's better to have more data than you need than having just enough so that you have something to work with.
For sure.
I would now love to really talk about tools. There are really plenty of platforms out there for tracking and optimization. What should affiliates look for when choosing a data tool or an analytics platform?
Yeah, so obviously I'm very biased for this one. So I will I will try to be, let's say, impartial, but I think that ultimately, if I were an affiliate right now, there would be three things that I would care about. One of them is obviously the coverage. So to make sure that I can track as much of my data and brands as possible. Secondly, it would be the insights that I can get. So I want this tool to actually give me insights that can help me better my business. And three, it's support. And support might sound a bit strange, but I think that the data landscape in affiliate marketing in iGaming especially is very alive. So things change every day. I mean, the platforms change, things move around, and things break. Ultimately, it's just a fact. So having a good level of support, having a close relationship with your data provider, I think is key. And this is something that I think that all affiliates should also keep in mind. And something that we really also work on, aside from obviously having a great product and all of this. I think it's something really that we try to do even with our clients, to make them feel supported and loved.
Yeah, this is great, but very, very to the point. I think it's going to be so much easier for people to choose the right platform. So at Refunda, one of our core services is also supporting brands with their SEO efforts. And I know that you also really emphasize the importance of SEO. We even mentioned it briefly before. What advice would you give to affiliates that would like to put more emphasis on SEO?
Well, I think that SEO has been a long-standing pillar in affiliate marketing, in iGaming affiliate marketing, and like I mentioned at the start, this is kind of started to change. I won't say obviously SEO is dead, but there's a lot happening on that side. So I think it's although there are some affiliates that even I know that are doing an amazing job in SEO and are focusing only on it and are doing very well. But I think it's important that affiliates become adaptable and become willing to also try different types of channels. Again, I think there's always going to be a place for SEO, and it will continue to be a big part of things. But the amount of affiliates that I've seen that used to do SEO only before and now try different stuff, just because again it's just so difficult to keep up with the changes that are going on, and it's such a risk as well. That I think it's just important to be adaptable. I would say I think the adaptable and the smarter affiliates will be the ones to watch.
That is a really good insights. And very often I hear SEO is dead, email is dead, social media is dead, something is
Yeah,
dead.
everything's
Like,
dead.
it's still up and running.
Yeah, it is, and it's still. I mean, again, there's still affiliates who do very well just on SEO, and I mean, again, it is. I think it's far from dead, but I think it is important to be adaptable. I think it's important to also be ready to try different channels. So that's what I would say is that it's good sometimes to try some other channels to make sure that you're also protected, because ultimately it's a roller coaster industry.
Yeah, I would say test other channels, but at
Yeah,
the same time, do
yeah.
not kill your SEO.
No.
So, Michael, as we're already almost 2 months into 2025, I'm sure there are already some trends that you started to notice. And looking at 2025, the rest of it and beyond, what would be the trends to watch in affiliate marketing?
So I think that probably I'm going to be a bit boring and continue off of the 2024 trends. I'm very curious to see how the landscape of networks develop. Obviously, we saw a lot pop up in 2024. Will this continue this year, or will there be more of maybe a saturation of networks? Will some prominent ones continue to stick out? I'm very curious to watch that space, and I'm curious to see how the data topic continues, because thankfully, from when I started working on Rowdy, it feels like the topic of data has grown and grown, and it's something not just for us but also for similar tools in the space. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops, and obviously the relationship of Google and affiliates, and not just SEO but PPC. Let's see how AI continues to shake things up. I mean, with AI, it always feels like things can change at the snap of a finger. So I'm very curious to see how these topics are gonna develop, with obviously a keen eye on the data topic, which hopefully continues to grow in the way it is.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be watching those very closely. Michael, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and insights with us today. But before we wrap up, is there one key takeaway or piece of advice that you'd like to leave with our audience?
I think it would be to use data and be greedy with it. So I think in in this industry, data it's not very data rich. You know, if you're an affiliate, getting data is hard. You have lots of holes in it. So I would say get as much data as you can, and make sure that you use it. So take every scrap of data and use it to grow.
Yeah. So if there's one piece of advice that people should take from that session is use your data.
Yeah, exactly. Get as much data as you can in, and use it to help you grow. But they're both kind of linked, because if you don't have a lot of data, it's hard to use it to grow. So it's really important to just bring as much data in, and use it. Yes.
Yeah, I fully agree. And for those of us who want to connect with you or learn more about Rowdy, what's the best way to reach them out? Are you coming to the events in Dubai or?
Yeah, so unfortunately I won't be in Dubai because I'm busy with wedding preparations. So my soon-to-be bride won't be very happy if I go to Dubai in the middle of the preparations. But I am like you said at the beginning. I'm quite active on LinkedIn. So if anyone wants to chat, happy to have a chat. Just drop me a message. And yeah, it's always a pleasure for me to chat about this space.
Yeah, I think it's a very good reason to be absent in Dubai, and
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yes,
We
looking
look
forward.
forward to seeing some photos.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. I'll use them for LinkedIn.
Michael, thank you again for sharing your knowledge with us. It's been a really fruitful conversation. There's so many bits and pieces that people can take right from it. And thank you to everyone who joined us for today's session. We really hope you gained some valuable insights and you made plenty of notes about affiliate marketing and the power of data. And of course, don't forget to follow Ace Alliance for updates on more sessions like this one. And I'll see you all at the next Ace Alliance Insights episode. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good day.